Hello, sixth graders. It's Mrs. James. I am coming to you early morning from my house. I'm having a delicious cup of tea. I like to have tea in the morning because it helps me clock tea at school. Was that good? Was that a good one? Was that a six or a seven? Did I do that one right? Or okay. I don't think I did. I'm gonna get better. But the reason why I'm coming to you this morning is because I was thinking about your writing. We are getting great with the R, the A, okay? We're getting there with the C, talking about race writing. We're getting there with the C and we're almost to the E. The E is going to be simple, okay? So we're great with restating. We're great with coming up with a good answer. And now we've got to really make sure that we are getting our C correct, that we are citing textual evidence. Why? Because that's going to prove our answer. It's going to help us to be able to make sure our writing is clear and strong. That's our goal. All right. So we talked about yesterday a story that I just came up with. It was a man and he was speeding down Sunbury Road. Do you guys remember that story? Great. I'm glad you remember it. He was speeding down the street. He was holding on to the steering wheel. There were sirens behind him. He had on a black shiesty, all black. He had two big bags or three big bags of money in the passenger seat. And so what we said yesterday was that he robbed a bank, right? So when they said, why was the man speeding down Sunbury Road? What would happen if I said, because he robbed a bank? Oh, my family didn't just hear me say that bad word, the B word. Start a sentence like that. We are going to start our sentence with a restate, right? Okay. So then we get a good answer. We're not just going to say, the man is speeding down Sunbury Road because he's crazy, right? No, we're not going to do that because if we say that, that answer doesn't come from anything in the story. He probably was crazy. But just because he was crazy does not show me that I have anyone that I have read the text. Answering questions, the point of answering questions is to show me that you read and understood the text. So then we go to C because now we have to prove where we got our answer from. Hold, please. This is my tea clocking potion. To have another sip. So good. So now we have to prove it. So today, what I wanted to do is give you some ways that you can, words that you can use to write. Okay. So, oh, look what I got here. Am I on the front screen? Oh, can you guys see me on like the, hey, okay, calm down, Miss James. It's not that serious. So let's take a look at what we have here. Yesterday, we asked a question. Why was the man speeding down Sunbury Road? And usually, sixth graders, it's going to say, use one example from the text to prove your answer. And even if it doesn't say that, we still need to do that. All right, so we have here the man was speeding down Sunbury Road because he robbed a bank. So I'm going to make that red. So we've done the race part. I mean, we've done the restate. We've given a good answer, not an answer that just came from our head, but an answer that goes in the story. So we are going to take a look at, sorry, I have to do this, otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. There we go. Perfect. So now, before we start our citing, we have some really great words that we can use, and that's what I want to give you some options of. So let's come down here And we're gonna put these in, let's put them in blue since we don't have anything that's blue. Okay, so here are some great sentence stems that you could do. So we're gonna say, actually, let's answer the question first. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked there. And I want to do it like yellow with a gold highlight. Okay. So the man was speeding down Sunbury Road because he robbed a bank. Now is our time to prove, to cite evidence. So we're going to say, I know this because in the text it says, so it says one example, and we're going to give one or two. I know this because in the text it says that he had two bags of money in the passenger seat and he was wearing all black and a mask. I'm writing mask because I don't know how to spell shiesty. Okay, and he was wearing all black and a mask. Fantastic. This right here is great. You could also add more in. This is a great time where you could add more ideas. If I was adding more ideas here, I might say he was also nervous and the police was behind him. All right, you know what? And I think I am going to do that actually. I did that so I could fix it. I'm going to do that, black in a mask. It also says, ooh, I love this. I love that we're writing here and we're adding more. We're not just giving exactly what it says. It also says that police sirens, I'm just going to say that the police were behind him. Do I want to say the police were behind him? I'm going to say that sirens were going off behind him. Okay. So now that I've given you information like from the text and we've got this beautiful piece of writing, now we just have to explain it. You see, now here we are with our E. And really, we're just going to say this means, or this means that he was running from the police. My computer is acting like it wants to die, so let's move fast. This means that he was running from the police. The bags of money and his outfit, the bags of money in his outfit all show, um, are all what people usually do when they rob a bank. Okay, do you see that? Do you see what all that I did there? This is how you write a paragraph in sixth grade. This is how you write something deep, detailed, and perfect. The man was speeding down Sunbury Road because he robbed a bank. I know this because in the text it says that he had two bags of money in the passenger seat and he was wearing all black and a mask. It also says sirens were going off behind him. This means that he was running from the police. The bags of money in his outfit are all what people usually do when they rob a bank. That right there is phenomenal. Let's go back here to this sentence right here. I know this because in the text it says, let's make it a little bigger because that's really what I want to focus on today before my computer dies. You guys are like, Miss James, just plug it in. I can't let the computer win today. I know this because in the text it says that he had two bags of money. Here are some other ideas that you could do. We're going to do, and these are the things that I want you to write down. Magic words to cite textual evidence. You could have said, according to the text. So if we go back up here, according to the text, he had two bags of money in his passenger seat, okay? We could say the author states, let's go back. The author states that he had two bags of money in the passenger seat and he was wearing all black and a mask. You could say on, oh, I like this one. On page, it states. This really shows, or you could even say in paragraph. Let's put that too, because sometimes on the side of your writings or your passages, it'll be numbered. That numbering there is for you to go back and for you to say in paragraph 17, it said. So let's do that. Let's do in paragraph, it says, or it states. You can use either one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give you a couple more. One example from the story is, or you could even say one example is, how about this? Based on what I read, um, yeah, I think seven is enough. Based on what I read. So here are seven magic words to use citing to cite textual evidence. Magic words, magic phrases, let's say magic phrases to use to cite textual evidence. So these are really important. These are really helpful. And these are things that you can use when you are getting to that C part. Every piece of writing, I want to see this in there. I want to see something that tells me you got this from the text, not just from what you think. An example, why is the man speeding down Sunbury Road? The man was speeding down Sunbury Road because he was crazy. And then that's it. No, the man was speeding down Sunbury. I want you to prove it all. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go warm my tea back up because it's probably getting a little cold. Mm, not too bad. I'm going to spend some time praying and I'm going to just sit here and be quiet for a little bit. And then I'm going to head to see you. Um, Happy Tuesday, sixth graders. All right, let's stop this. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you guys one more question. One more question. And you're going to answer this. And I think I'm going to put it on your little worksheet there. Do you think Miss James likes books a little bit or a lot? So you know what I just thought about? Another thing you could say is according to the video. If you're saying instead of text, you could say, well, according to the video or in the video I saw. Okay. So here we go. Do you think Miss James likes books a little bit or a lot? That's going to be your bonus question. Make sure that you restate and use race. All right. Bye. See you in a minute.